Strangely enough, there are probably only two very important issues in a recording contract. How much product I have to give you, and what kind of an advance slash royalty you're going to pay me. Your object is to take as many rights as you possibly can, and as many albums as you possibly can. My obligation, or what I try to do, is to give you as few albums as I possibly can and get the highest royalty rate I can. I'm not a believer in getting a huge advance because the record company is going to recoup the advance. I would prefer to get $1 million royalty check than get an advance of $1 million and get a $3 royalty check. It sounds kind of silly because it means they probably sold the same number of records. But when you've gotten $1 million royalty check, it means a lot more to somebody than getting a zero royalty check. But the other than, of course, the two most important things, which how much product and what are they going to pay you and what the royalty rate's going to be, is the restrictions and limitations you can put on a record company whereby they need your approval for certain things, such as licensing the masters for commercials, for motion pictures, limitation on the right to sell a budget record or a mid-price record, which is a record which is less than a full-price record. Simple thing, you want the right to audit. And although in California they've recently passed laws that give you a right to audit, at least in New York State, is not a God-given right. It's got to be in a contract or you don't have a right to audit. Record companies like to limit your right to a year. Your job as a lawyer is to try and get it for 3 to 4 years. Then you get down to the mechanical royalty clause. What a record company wants is they want to pay you a 3/4 rate, which would be, in this case, 3/4 of the 9.1 cents. They want to pay you based upon the minimum statutory rate, not if the song is longer than 5 minutes where the rate goes up. They want to pay you not on record, only on records sold. They don't want to pay you on what we call free goods. If you have the same song twice on a record, they only want to pay you once. You want to try and get it for more than once. They want to pay you a static rate, meaning the rate in effect on the date the record was delivered or should have been delivered. You at least want to get it to be the rate when the record was released, provided that you delivered it on time. And of course, the most favorable thing is you want to be paid the statutory rate in effect on the date the record was sold. Now, you could give in to the minimum statutory rate on the date the record is sold. But unfortunately, in America, and again, only in America, and America is also unique in that you pay by the number of songs on a record. Every place else in the world, they pay a percentage of the wholesale price, and that's divided up by the number of songs. So if you've got 14 songs on a record in America, you'd get 9.1 cents for each song. If you had 14 songs on the same record sold in the UK, you'd get 1/14 of, let's say, 8.25% of the wholesale price. If that is the percentage that the Mechanical Society collects from the record company. So there is a difference. Outside of America, you divide by the number of songs. In America, you get paid per song. Same thing in Canada.